mortgage industries, the loans and rates and everything change. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors in that. Cars are changing. The way people buy cars is changing. So, like, there's so many different types of sales out there. So it's like, what's recession proof? What out there is something that's duplicatable, something that's not going to take a ton of hours standing on the car show floor. I mean, things that you can actually be in control of, manipulate it based off of what you need.
All right, let's get started. So we welcome to the Agent Q&A. You got your host here, John. We got Joan.
Hi, everyone.
We got Albert. So we got a good couple of set of questions first, and it's going to be all entail into opportunities. So we're going to delve into the opportunities of how it is in the insurance industry, how it is in FFL, how to create it passively, aggressively, and also how to not waste it, right? So from your words, just describe how do you feel about the opportunity in the insurance industry? Let's start with you, Joanne.
Referencing like the opportunity within FFL?
Well, first from just the industry and then what FFL can provide.
Gotcha. So within the insurance industry, I think some of the opportunities that you get in comparison to other typical jobs is, number one, you are like your own boss, so you don't have anybody kind of telling you what time to work or how to run your business. So I think that's one of the good ones. You're also able to assist a lot of different people by making sure that they are able to secure their families at the time that they're no longer here. What else? I don't know. I kind of can't think of any more of them.
Yeah, as long as from your description of like how would you sell the opportunity in the insurance industry to someone that's not in it, right? Yeah. Compared to like becoming a doctor, becoming a
and you can also make as much money as you want, because with that, I mean, you're able to kind of just, if you have a set goal, if you're working a 9 to 5 or you're getting paid, if you're a doctor, you only have a capped limit of income that you're going to be getting, but with an insurance, you can make as much money as you want.
Yeah. How do you feel, Albert?
Well, I mean, I think opportunity is just great overall. So I think for me, you wouldn't have caught me saying this like 20 years ago, because before I was like try to stay from everything sales. Yeah. Because I just felt you just get all these like bad connotations of like pushy salesmen, like you want those used car salesmen or those snake oil salesmen, like all that stuff, and you just got like this really like bad impression in your mind from your own personal experience you've had with salespeople that were pushy and that weren't very good. Right. And people that are just trying to push you stuff, like people at the mall kiosks that like stop you. Hey, big man, check this out. Whatever.
Check out this hair product.
And I'm like, I can't ever see myself doing that, because it's like, number one, it doesn't look profitable, when they're pushy like that. And also I'm like, so I got too much pride. Like I can't put myself out there. But as the years have gone by, especially after getting into insurance, you realize what a great opportunity sales is. So the thing is, like, all the books that I've read from successful people, the podcasts I listen to, the interviews, all the different things, like almost everyone talks about the importance of sales and getting into sales. And I think that's the first thing you start with, because you develop all these skills. You learn how to be entrepreneurial. You have a lot of control. You develop control in the process. Doesn't mean you're immediately going to get it, but if you stick with it, you unlock all these new talents and skills that you have buried within you. Mm-hmm. You develop a mindset, you develop an attitude, and you feel like you can accomplish a lot. So I think sales is the first place you would start, and then you start looking at what type of sales would you want to get into. Right. Real estate clearly is profitable for some, not all, definitely not all. Yeah. And then it rides a wave, man. Like the housing market changes. Yeah. It becomes a buyer's market, seller's market. Sometimes it's just down. The mortgage industries, the loans and rates and everything change. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors in that. I mean, cars are changing. The way people buy cars is changing. So, like, there's so many different types of sales out there. So it's like, what's recession proof? Right. What out there is something that's duplicatable, something that's not going to take a ton of hours standing on the car show floor. I mean, things that you can actually be in control of and manipulate it based off of what you need. So I think insurance sales is definitely something that is entirely way too much slept on, because we've been in it. We see how you can kind of tailor things around your schedule, what else you want to do, because work can't be your only interest in life, can't be your only driving, motivating force in life, right? So it's got to be able to fund something else. And I think this allows us to do it. Now, earlier when it comes to opportunity, I think you kind of mentioned, like, how do you talk people out of getting to the medical profession, or,
not talking about, but comparing the industry.
Well, comparing the others. Yeah. So I used to do that myself because, I went to law school.
Yeah.
I have a lot of successful friends that are in the medical field. They're nurses, doctors, dentists, optometrists, professors, people that are attorneys, all kinds of different, very successful entrepreneurs, all kinds of different people that I just thought, hey, I could never talk to them about it because they're in a great place. Like, why would they want to come and do this? Then as the years went on, like, they started asking me how much I made.
Right.
And then I'm like, it never really occurred to me, but I'm like, yeah, I'm making more than them. They went to like 5 to 7 years of schooling.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum. They had to pay back all these loans.
Right.
And then they're capped at a certain level unless they open up their private practice, and, they get promoted up to a certain level. But even then, that's kind of capped. And I'm like, wow, it's pretty mind-blowing that I'm actually making more than them. I do whatever I want. I mean, obviously, we still got to work, but,
right.
I get to control all the subsets within my business. And then the thing is, eventually they got to the point where initially they're like, there's no way they're thinking about coming over because they spent way too much time invested into making that happen. But then as the years went on, in our early 20s, that was never a consideration for them. Now they start asking me about it because it's like, we're in our 40s now. Some are a little bit older, some are a little bit younger, but, some times past, their kids are mostly grown. They've had exposure to their industry for 15, 20 years, and then some of them recognize it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing every single day. They have a bureaucracy they got to deal with. They got corporations that they got to deal with, and they're kind of stuck. So, like, the thought of getting into a new profession is actually very intriguing for a lot of them. So it's been interesting seeing the progression of these conversations as the years go by. And, for me, I mean, I didn't do anything special, but I think it was cool that I've continued to just stick with what I was doing, went through the ups and downs and figured things out. So then this way I'm still in a position to be able to provide them with this information, to provide them with an opportunity, whether or not they all start or not. I mean, that's really on them. That's an ongoing process. But I mean, it's just cool that, I didn't give up because otherwise they would never have found out about it.
If you guys enjoy, I'm saying it too many times.
Thanks for joining us so far. That's all I remembered.
We can continue to share with other people. We probably need to redo it, right? Hey guys, thanks for joining us. If you guys have found this stuff helpful up to this point, or you guys would like to see some other stuff,
please like and subscribe and create a comment so we can cover that next topic.
And continue watching the show.
For me, when you look at the opportunity in the insurance industry, and then also FFL to add on, it's just like any other business, right? You notice, from doctors to other professions, there's the employee standpoint, and then for them to really make a lot of money, you got to jump into the entrepreneurship standpoint of running your own business, right? So why insurance compared to any other services out there or any other industries out there? But I think insurance has the least amount of variables for your uncapped potential. Okay, so least amount of variables. Going into the real estate, you mentioned housing market. What happens now? What variable can happen? Prices of lumber, right? Interest rates. Who controls that? Can you control that? Right. Can't control that. Cars. Now there was like a chip shortage a couple of years ago.
Supply chain issues.
Supply chain. How can you control that? Now the price went up, or now there's less cars. Now the used cars were higher than the new cars. It was
or
like,
oil.
Did it make sense?
Oil,
gas,
electricity costs, like all this different stuff.
Right.
Ancillary factors.
Variables. And then if you own a restaurant, same thing. Okay. Who you cater to, your location of your restaurant. All these are
the COVID shutdown.
The COVID shutdown we didn't even know about.
Right.
That can happen where they can tell you you're non-essential.
Right.
So within the insurance industry, what variable do we really have? Okay. What's our block? What's our ceilings? Well, it's a common people business. We got to just talk to somebody to sell them life insurance. Do we need to stay in our location? Now we can sell throughout the United States. So we have 300 plus million of clients that we can sell to. As far as building the entrepreneurship and the building and scaling your model, same thing. Do you have to worry about like disability insurance, payroll when you scale? everyone's 1099. They come in and they can choose to work or not to work. So all you have to worry about is the training process and simplifying the business. So there's a lot of little things in building a business that gets eliminated. And even better, you're not by yourself, right? You can have your uplines that's going to tell you, okay, this was what happened to me. This is where I failed. This is where I succeeded. You have a blueprint in mind to follow. Compared to like if you ran your own restaurant, the other restaurant in your competition is not going to tell you what their secret game plan is, right?
Because you can never really. I mean, if it's like a tangible type of business, like a restaurant or a bar, the thing is like you can't really take someone else's blueprint and run it exactly the same way, most likely, unless you do the franchising thing and you take on like TGI Fridays or something, right?
Right.
And then you run that same business model. But for the most part, it's going to be different because location's different, the demographic might be different, the income levels are different. There's a lot of different factors that go into it. And like your marketing could be very different. Your customer service, that makes a difference because you're not going to be hiring the same exact people that they got over there. So, I mean, even like a McDonald's varies from like location to location, right? It's just that people are lazy and they just think, oh, it's easiest. Like I know it's within the range of what I should expect if I go to McDonald's because of the branding. But overall, like it's tough to just be like I'm going to follow that blueprint exactly and expect the same exact results.
So what do you guys feel about compared to the insurance industry and other insurance companies that we've worked with or heard about? Where does FFL opportunity come in between those?
I would say, I mean, like if you're not a self-starter and you just want to be an employee and just want to be told what to do all the time, this probably isn't for you. Okay, I mean, clearly there needs to be structure and there needs to be some type of like path to follow, which we do have.
Right.
I mean, but reality, like we're here trying to, and this agency in particular, like we're really trying to build business owners. We're really trying to build people's individuality and their ability to be able to build their business according to how they see it, rather than to be like, all right, this is Albert Lau's model. You're going to run Albert Lau's model. You're going to get Albert Lau's results, and you can't get anything beyond that. It's like it's silly to think that. I just think like this opportunity is so much bigger that everyone can come in and then they can build and grow to the level in which they desire and which they're willing to work for, and the resources are all around them. It's not going to be an easy endeavor if you're trying to build something big, but it's all so doable. Like I just think like it's like for me there's zero shadow of a doubt if someone's actually genuinely motivated and it's actually going to work that they can figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. That makes me think about the LOA model versus the IMO model, right?
Right.
So if for brand new agents that don't know, LOA means you have the main guy. Let me use a mom and pop shop. So if it's Albert's mom and pop shop, he gets contracted with the insurance carriers. All business run through him. He gets paid by the insurance carrier, and if you worked under him, he gets paid first, and he pays you out. Right. Okay, so that's kind of like you have a boss in a sense. So there's a lot of control from the LOA. Now you got to run his business, his the way he does it. He might provide you leads, right, because it's in his agency. But the issue to that, then you'll have good structure, but you might take a comp hit.
You for sure will.
You will take a comp.
You might 100% take one.
It might be 50% less of what your FFL comp is, right? Yeah. So you're giving up your commission to follow someone else's footprints, but it's laid out for you. You got leads here. All you got to do is dial. You got their script here, but you got to stay on the script. Because if you say the wrong things, you blew his leads. So he's going to take those leads back, and now he's kind of lower your stance into his business. Right? He's going to focus on someone else. Whereas with the FFL, our model is, hey, everyone's getting a high comp, but at the same time, here's our pattern. It's up to you to decide. You can choose to buy these leads. You can work your own leads. You can choose not to have leads. And we have all these carriers. They want the business, but you got to, write the business however you want to do it. So you have too much freedom sometimes if you don't follow a model where if you're not independent, you need to have that 1099 W2 mentality. Sometimes I feel like it throws off new agents, right? Because there's too much freedom.
Yeah. So too much freedom, I think, for the new agents is something that they slowly have to like adapt into, because I think that once they see themselves struggling, or once they see themselves not hitting their goals or not really attaining what they set their mind to at first, then they start to like pedal back and they try to fix what's missing, right?
Or they get psyched out, right?
Right. Yeah. And so I think the easiest thing about the agency, or our agency, is that we already have, like, you guys already did all those mistakes. So the new agents don't have to come in and go through that same process. It's just about the new agents just, plugging into what we already have, sticking to the scripts that we have. I mean, they can change it and do whatever they want with it, but I think the scripts that we provide them are pretty solid in closing a good deal and getting all the information from the clients, to the point where, we don't have agents struggling anymore to ask for social securities or asking for bank information like we did at the beginning when everyone was trying to do the telesales. So I think that really makes it a lot easier for the agents, for sure.
So I feel like we got the process down. Mm-hmm. What's missing now to tell a new agent or an agent coming into our business is then their opportunities as far as their leads, right? Because it's going to be just all marketing and the opportunities to get in front of somebody, whether you're telesales or you're in presentation. How do you find more clients? Okay, so I used to say this, I mentioned it before, it's like FFL with insurance, it's like crack. We have the product. People want the product. They want the crack. We need more crack heads. We just need leads, right? So how do we create the leads, the lead opportunities for clients? And let's dive into that. How do we find and get and create opportunities passively or aggressively? Because at the end of the day, like Joanne mentioned, we have the process. We know how to call them. We know how to present. We know how to say it. We know how to make the sale. Yeah. That's a done deal. We just need more people to get in front of.
So how do you do it passively or aggressively? Not passively aggressively, just
passive or aggressively.
Well, passively, I don't know if this is what you mean by it, but you can buy leads. Is that
I would think that's more aggressive, right? Passive would be I think
passive is kind of more like you speaking to your warm market, or just speaking more about you being in the insurance industry, posting on your social media. I think that's more passive, right? Because you're not really aggressively attacking individuals, I would say.
All those methods do work, and I guess I'm thinking of it a little bit differently. I get where you're going with it, so the thing is, passively would actually just be going to an agency that gives you leads. So like I'm gonna join an LOA, and I'm gonna take a really low comp. I'm gonna have them tell me what hours I need to work, and then I'm just gonna get leads, and that passively they'll come in.
You just want it to be laid to your lap.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, see, if you run ads, if you purchase leads, or you go after your warm market, I think that's all aggressive, because you're intentionally going after leads. You're intentionally finding contacts to talk to, people that you can reach out to, like a name and a number. You're doing something for it. So you're either exchanging your time for it by setting up these ads and figuring out that system and doing all that and managing these ads, or you are trading your time, your money for that time,
opportunity. Right?
Yeah. So it's all aggressive to some degree if you're actively going out and getting, which I always would advocate in business. You should always actively and aggressively go out and do something, because if you passively sit back and wait for people to take care of you, unless it's your mama, like how many people are actually going to be like, oh, what's so-and-so doing today? Like, I got to make sure that they're taken care of. Mm-hmm. They're going about their day. They're taking care of their business. And I think it's just a kind of a foolish plan to be sitting back expecting someone to take care of you. Yeah. Like you can expect someone to take care of you if you guys are accountable both ways and you guys have an agreement and just like, we're gonna help each other out. That's one thing. But for you to sit back and just wait, like, my manager never reached out to me.
I never got my leads.
My manager didn't give me any leads. My manager didn't give me appointments. My manager didn't do this. It's like, I don't know what the expectation was at the beginning when people say stuff like that. But no manager said like, hey, you just got to sit back. I'll take care of everything for you.
No, I think nobody does that even in like the real world, even if they were working a 9 to 5. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can't just sit back at your 9 to 5 and just.
You get directions at least.
But it's on you to make the directions actually happen,
That's true.
So sometimes it's difficult for me to understand where that delusion comes from. Yeah. Because then they're just sitting around passively waiting for something to happen. Where in reality, the only thing that's happening is you're getting older. you're
Getting
you're losing
poorer.
money,
Yeah.
you're getting poorer, you're,
Yeah.
you're standing still, which is actually going backwards because time keeps moving forward.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you plan on doing with this kind of plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to have both, and we recommend having both because, like, for me, even though it's an aggressive approach, I feel like it's still a little bit passive, right? If you can create your social media, you're throwing yourself out there, but you're also passively waiting for a response, right? So, well, what if you need to make a sale today? If I make a content today, can I expect to make a sale today?
Maybe.
So it's still a little bit passive because you're waiting for somebody
yeah.
to
You
respond
can't
to you.
count on it.
You can't count on it. Yeah, no.
Right. Now, if I become aggressive, I throw out my content. I wait for a response. I see who's watching. You can see who's seen it, right, or who made a comment. And then if I go and aggressively text them or message them saying, "Hey, I see that you saw my content. Did you like it? Did you need anything?" Now I'm being more aggressive because now I'm cultivating the lead.
Organic marketing.
Right. Right. So aside from that, then there's also the leads that we purchased. There are additional vendors besides becoming your own vendor in a sense, creating your own lead generation. You can find lead generation companies, aggressively purchase their leads that they've already created for you, and you can aggressively contact them, make appointments, and call the leads right off the bat. Right. And that's what's been our model. We have the internet life leads, the ILC leads, other places where they have in, seconds. You can say, I want 100 people to contact right now. Let me buy 100 leads, have it on your computer, start dialing, and maybe within an hour, you can aggressively make an impact and make a sale on the spot. Right.
Well, I would say organic marketing you should always be doing. I think you should always be advertising your business and just talking about why you enjoy it, how it can help people, just sharing about it, because I think some people will tune you out because they're just not in that stage of their life. But then some other people, they'll start piquing their interest. And the thing is, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit.
Right.
Sometimes you put it out there, someone notices it, and they're like, oh, that's true. Not going to do anything about it, but I'm just going to keep swiping, keep scrolling along.
Yeah.
Right.
But then like later on, like something happens, they're like, oh, I need life insurance. Like close call just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my family passed away. I need life insurance. Who should I go to? And it's like, oh yeah, I saw this ad a while back. And then who knows? So you should always be planting seeds along the way.
Right.
As far as going out and trying to run ads and generate your own leads that way, I mean, just a word of advice and just to throw some caution out there for people that think like, oh, hey, cool. I mean, I can run my own ads. It's cheaper than buying leads elsewhere, and it's cheaper than paying a lead campaign manager to run my ads. It's not that easy.
No.
So we have tried it ourselves, and obviously we're learning and we're starting to pick things up, and we're starting to understand it better. But even then, I mean, it still takes some time to ramp up. So if you're going to be throwing money into it,
Yeah.
you're definitely going to be throwing time into it, and then you're not going to know exactly what to do initially, and then it's going to take some time. It's a trial and error basis. You're going to have to keep going back and forth. So the thing is, if you're depending on that to make income sometime in the near future for you to pay your bills, for you to get by, for you to survive, that's not the route to go.
Right.
Now, if you have the luxury of time because you have some savings and you have some income coming in, and then you know 100% this is the route you want to go, you can start trying it out now. Maybe you'll start getting some results. But even if you start getting results, I mean, sometimes people get overconfident. Namely me, I've done that before. I'm like, oh, look at how cheap this lead was, and look at how many leads I was able to acquire at this cost, and blah blah blah, and then the market fluctuates. So a lot of different factors go into it, and then you start learning about why that is and what you can do to try to combat that. So it's not as easy as you think. It wouldn't be anything I would recommend up front to be like, yeah, go start running your own ads and start generating all your own leads. I would say go market yourself, go market your business, do it organically.
Yeah.
But as far as doing it for a lead source, probably not the way to go unless you got that cushion and you got time.
Or you have the consistency from other sources immediately from the lead source. You're selling consistently.
I mean, that's 100 way that you should. If you know you want to get into it and you have some time to throw into it and a little bit of resources, you should still stay diversified anyway. You should never depend on one single lead source. Because the thing is, even them, like there could be factors that could change things a little bit, and you never want to be solely dependent on one source.
Yeah, I think also, as your own business owner, at the end of the day, maybe we have grand visions of like, I want it to the point, kind of like how we had the entitlement, right? I want it to the point where clients call me and I just service them. But I have so many clients calling me that I'm so busy that they have to book appointments with me.
That'd be nice.
We could have this grand vision, right? But how do we get there? How do we have that book of business? How do we have enough word of mouth referrals? How do you get there?
Trial and error, though. We've been in the industry for 17, 18 years, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of what we've been working to. It'd be ideal, but I'm also realistic. If it doesn't happen, I'm still down to put in the work.
Yeah, we got to still be aggressive about it. Right? Yeah. No, it happens here and there because we've laid some seeds in. Like we get a referral here and there, right? Clientele, your clients, you do a death claim, somebody else gets another policy. These things add up, but you got to have that book of business. But for you to start to have that book of business, we got to put in the work. Right. All right. So we're going to go into the last topic then. How do you not waste the opportunity in this business? How have you seen it been wasted, and how do you have agents prevent wasting the opportunity?
Well, I would say, just like we mentioned earlier, a lot of new agents or people that are brand new to the industry think that it's going to be kind of an easy ride for them, or that that because they don't have an actual schedule, or because they don't have an actual manager or a director or somebody telling them what to do, they just kind of like kick back and don't really get started to begin with. They're just liking the idea of owning their own business and not really seeing everything else that it takes to get it started, right? But I think within what we have to offer with the agency, it's really easy for new agents to just get plugged right into what we're doing. So I think the faster that people get through, their onboarding process, the faster that they get through submitting their contracting request, the fastest that they can, do their annuity training if they plan on doing annuities and stuff like that. Getting all that stuff just kind of aligned and done within the first week of them actually getting started and starting on their invitations into our agency. I think that's definitely like a good starting point for them, because at that point they can quickly jump into the live dials that we have going on every single day. I don't even know. I mean, you guys are on there I feel like Terrence is on there super early in the morning. Yeah. So there's really no time of day that anybody is going to outbeat Terrence on those live dials, honestly. Yeah. And, so the agents, as long as they can, start their contracting, hop on the live dials while they're waiting for their contracting to come in to just get some ideas and go through the script. So as soon as their carriers come in, they can just start, dialing their leads and calling them. I think that's the easiest way for people to just get plugged in, is just not wasting time and making sure that you guys have like a clear vision as to why you guys are becoming an insurance agent. And then, everything can kind of just flow from there. But if you're coming into this and then you're going to kick back and then chill, and then once, maybe your unemployment has run out, you're going to try to, get back into becoming a life agent and getting plugged back into stuff, it takes a while for your contracting to come in for some of the carriers. It's going to take a while for you to get plugged into the system, because in your mind, you've already, slacked off and you haven't been integrated into the team. And if you guys aren't really trying to get integrated, we're not going to really be babysitting you guys to, push you along and try to force you to do contracting, and try to force you to hop on leads, or try to force you, we're not going to do that, because you guys are independent contractors and you guys are here to build a business, not to be employees.
Right. Yeah. For me, and we're going to end with Albert because you have a bigger story on yours. For me, the number one thing for agents that are wasting the opportunity, they're just not buying leads. Yes. If you just rely on your warm market, dude, you've wasted like 80% of the opportunity, because we have an ability to have a source of leads and an ability to just have a contact every single minute of the day. But if you just wait passively and you're waiting on clients to come in, dude, you have a lot of time on your hands, right? Whereas you could buy leads on leads every single day. So you have enough people to talk to and pick, the low-hanging fruit. Yeah. And getting the clients that just said, yeah, John, I wanted life insurance. That's why I filled that Facebook ad out. Okay, let's take care of you. Boom, 20 minutes, you got a sale. Right. And you can rinse and repeat that. You could have 10, 12 appointments, 20 appointments, 30 appointments, as much as you want. So there's the unlimited opportunity if you have an abundance of leads.
Right.
Well, I mean, before I get to my point, I I was my first time in insurance. I was kind of a rookie, and then I hit a certain level, and I needed like another app or two to get me over a certain level to get a bonus or to hit a certain qualification for something. I think it was for a trip.
Okay.
My manager Lily, shout out Lily. She, I was like, should I go out and try to sell one of my buddies? You know, I think he needs insurance. Should I go approach him? She's like, no. If it's someone you know, if it's your warm market, it's like, put it in your back pocket. Let's go out and try to work the leads first. Try to make a sale. If your buddy's there, like unless he needs it immediately, it's like it's always nice to have those in your back pocket.
Right.
Right. So the thing is, like, if you're just going out thinking like, hey, I'm gonna write up on my warm market when I first start off, it's gonna be a very rude awakening if you haven't learned the system first. Because then like you'll make this money, you'll start spending it like a rock star. You're gonna go and party like you were like an NBA lottery pick, and then you're gonna run out that money, and then you're gonna be like, all right, now I gotta learn.
Yeah, you still don't know how to sell.
And then now you've mentally conditioned yourself to be weaker.
Yeah.
Because you just think it's going to be that easy when you run these leads, and it's not going to be. So like I would do it in the reverse. I would go through the tough part first. And if you know someone needs insurance, someone's going to buy from you because it's a warm market person, like keep it up, just keep it for later. Just put it in your back pocket. You can always sell it later. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll really help you out later, because then you'll be like, oh cool, I'm already on a roll. If I add this one, it'll take me to the next level in terms of my production. So I would always just do it in that order if I was trying to set myself up for success here. Now, knowing what I know.
Okay.
But as far as like how people can waste an opportunity, and this is a great opportunity, my opinion. I've seen how many people it's helped, but the easiest way for you to ruin an opportunity is to not take it seriously, and then start doing unethical things, start doing illegal things. Because I think sometimes people just get very short-sighted. They just start focusing on like, how do I make this money? And then they're idiots. Because number one, you're going to get caught. Yeah. You 100% will get caught. And then you mess with the wrong person. That person is going to put the screws to you. Like, I am that person. So, I mean, it's like one, and it's not even just about like making sure this person's punished. Like the way I look at it, it's like, I don't want this person to ever harm other people or other organizations that go in the future. So like, I'm going to do everything in my considerable power to try to, and resources, and I'm resourceful to try to figure out how to get this person. And it's clients involved. You know, there's a hierarchy involved. There's plenty of the carriers. There's so many people that get harmed by this kind of small time thinking. Like, and this person, I don't know. I mean, maybe they weren't even a bad person to begin with. This agent that tried to do all this other stuff, but it's like, and you don't see this opportunity. Like, you are throwing away your license, you're throwing away potentially your freedom, and all this stuff just to try to make a couple easy bucks,
right?
And which you're going to be charged back on, and it's going to come back to
get you anyways.
Get you eventually.
Yeah. So
it's like, man, it's not worth it. And I mean, I don't want to go into too much details about some of the stuff because I'm saving it for the people that want to try me. But yeah, I mean, I just think, look, if you want to get into it for those reasons, don't get into this industry, because you're not going to get away with it. You might think you get away with it for a little bit,
but it's going to catch up to you sooner or later.
It always catches up to you, and it's going to be way worse for you.
Yeah.
I think that for the people that do stuff like that, they just don't really. They're very short-sighted.
Yeah.
And it may feel good that you get paid out, you know, something that you really didn't earn or something that you fraudulently got, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, all that stuff gets linked all together, and you can't really get away from it no matter where you go. Yeah. And I think that's like the crazy thing about being in the insurance industry, is that people believe that they can get away with stuff like that. But the truth is that it's going to catch up to you no matter where you go.
Yeah. Insurance is a great opportunity to make a lot of money. It's also a great opportunity to do scams and fraudulent activity, because you can get paid really fast.
Yeah,
but the problem with that is, in the insurance industry, is highly regulated.
Yeah.
Each carrier has their compliance. Each carrier has their ways.
And you can't do it forever.
To do that. So not only you waste your opportunity in the insurance industry, now you're going to get marked. You're going to have a flag. You're going to have a record, you know. Now you've ruined your future opportunities with anything else.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, look, debt is part of this business. You know, there's going to be chargebacks. You know, not everyone's going to keep their policies. People are going to pass away. Things don't get issued for whatever underwriting reasons or whatnot. And that's part of the process. If you're working consistently and you have enough business going in, it's never really going to be an issue.
Yeah.
The time it becomes an issue is you read a couple policies and then you think you got paid and then you're like, time to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Time to do whatever. And you stop working and then it catches up to you because like you spent all that money already. Now you don't have money for leads.
Yeah.
You know, now you're working against the clock because now your bills are due and that money you already spent it. So it's like when you stop working, that's, Sean always says you don't have a money problem, you have a people problem, and then which is you're not working enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as chargebacks and debt, I mean, it's all circumstantial. I mean, like John's rolled me debt, and like have I ever jumped down your throat about it? Have I ever like been like, oh, I'm gonna sue you, John. I'm gonna take a bat to your knees.
Well, the issue with that is we don't even know all of our debts roll up
Right,
with
John,
certain carriers.
He unintentionally rolled debt because we're learning still.
Yeah.
So then, like, I mean, I've never made a big deal because I'm like, I know what John's intentions are. I like we have good communication, and I looked at the circumstances, so I'm like, not going to pursue it that hard. I'm just going to try to work something out between us, and I'm totally reasonable about that. But for the people that go in like, oh, I think they're not watching. I think I'm going to write my family member over and over again, and then I'm going to try to get paid on it, which that'll get caught.
Yeah.
And then that'll get stopped. And there were people that thinks like, oh, I'm going to write this person, because I'm, I have some information out there from someone else. I'm just going to fake this account and fake this and blah, blah, blah. The thing about that is like, all right, I see it. I'm like, I'm kind of just biding my time figuring out like, what's the worst thing I can do to this person? Like, what's the worst way to get to this person later? So if you feel like you've escaped, you haven't. Because the thing is like, attorneys are going to get involved, there's all, so just do right. Just do right, and do right for the client. Do right for the carrier because this is all a partnership. Do right for your uplines. Do right for, for yourself. This is an overall thing that benefits everybody if you do it the right way. And if you choose not to, then you're going to suffer the consequences. And these consequences can and will be very dire.
So, to recap, just understand the opportunity and how much you can make money in this business. Like you can go from 6 figures, 7 figures plus, right? So you just got to have a bigger vision, what Joanne said, and understand what opportunities you need to focus on, passive or aggressive with leads, and the rest will work out. And just do right. Don't waste the opportunity. Don't be fraudulent. So that's all we got for you guys today. We'll see you guys next week. Please join us on FFL Elite Clips on YouTube. Like and subscribe. See you guys next week.
Get that opportunity.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you guys want to subscribe, click here. If you want to watch the next video, click here.